first pick, and I know you like this one. I got to think you like this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, you've got Pittsburgh +3.
Yeah, Pittsburgh +3 at home against Baltimore. I mean, Mike Tomlin as a home dog. Mike Tomlin as a dog. Mike Tomlin as a divisional dog. First of all, in this series, the last 20 years, the underdog, 28-10 against the spread. 28-10-3, so 3 pushes. I mean, if all of these games come down to a field goal, you're giving me a field goal. Tomlin, as a dog, is 20-15 straight up against Harbaugh. Wait, hold on. He hasn't been an underdog 35 times. Okay, yeah, sorry. He's 20-15 straight up as a dog. I was going to say he hasn't been an underdog 35 times against John Harbaugh. That doesn't make sense. And I think Pittsburgh absolutely can win this game outright. We've talked about Tomlin as a dog overall, 62, 35, and 2. He doesn't cover big numbers, but he absolutely, as a dog, wins outright and covers the spread. And so 15 of their last 18 matchups have been one-score games. I think Pittsburgh can win, and I think that the Steelers secondary is going to have a hard time covering George Pickens on those Russell Moon balls. I like the Pittsburgh special teams more. I like the Pittsburgh defense more. Obviously, I like the Baltimore offense way more. But this is a game. TJ Watt's going to be flying around, and this is where I remind everyone, and I understand that we all must kneel at the altar of Lamar Jackson. He's beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers once. Plays him twice a year, theoretically, every year, but he's missed a bunch of them. Lamar Jackson has beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers as a starting quarterback one time in his career. And I think that one game was against Duck Hodges. So the Lamar wins 80% of his games if you remove the games against the Chiefs, the Steelers, and playoff games. So against everyone else, he's as good of a bet as there is. I like the Steelers in this spot, and I've got to think that this game comes down to the final possession, so I'll take the +3 points. All right, Demonte, go ahead.
You got New England +4.5 versus the Rams.
New England +4.5 against... Hold on, real quick, before I even do that one. Did you not like my Steelers-Ravens analysis? I saw the look on your face.
No, it just unfortunately, it makes sense. Like, I do think Russ is going to be able to light up the secondary. Lamar Jackson's obviously going to do what he wants, but I do think that the Ravens' defense will be the biggest hindrance. I think it's the biggest weakness of the game, and I think it'll come back to bite them. I do think the Ravens are going to win, but I do think it'll be a close game. See them winning by 3, and I can also see them losing. Unfortunately, I'm realistic.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, the Patriots and the Rams. I've got the Patriots +4.5. So obviously, I don't think the Patriots are good, and you guys know I like the Rams. So I would understand why this pick seems silly. However, the Rams played on Monday night. They are a West Coast team going cross-country. It is a 1 o'clock East Coast start. They are laying, more than a field goal. The Patriots are going to, try to just run Drake May, run Ramondre, not let this game, get into the 20s. The Rams defense has actually, to its credit, been good. The Rams offense is what has struggled as of late. I just think this is a ugly, boring 20-17, 17-14, 21-17 type of game. I think the Rams control the game, but I do not think they run away with it. 4.5 points is just too many points for a Rams team on a short week going West Coast to East Coast for a 1 o'clock kickoff. Patriots feeling great right now, coming off, their best defensive performance of the year. I don't love it. I'm going to be honest. 4 of my 5 picks were easy. I'm not saying they're going to, none of this is easy, but my point is 4 of the 5 games, I instantly knew what I wanted. And I searched long and hard for a 5th. This was the 5th I landed on, so I don't feel great about it. But I feel like this is the sharp, this is the sharp side of this bet. I just think the Rams haven't earned the right to lay more than a field goal on the road against a team that has shown a pulse, particularly going Monday to Sunday at 1 o'clock. So I'll take the New England plus 4.5. Next
you have Cleveland -1 at New Orleans. So
the Saints got, hear me out here, DeMonte, because DeMonte doesn't like this one. The Saints got the fired coach bounce. They hated Dennis Allen. He got out of there. They get the win. If you watch that game, Atlanta had a lot of opportunities to win that football game and blew it, and Koo had a tough game. Cleveland, coming off a bye, had shown signs of life with Jameis. I do not think New Orleans' offensive line is going to be able to handle the Browns' defensive front, especially Myles Garrett looking better and playing better. The pre-bye after being not great at dealing with some injuries earlier. So you have Cleveland off a bye. You have a Saints team that I think is truly bad. Not going to have Chris Olave. No one on the outside to really threaten you down the field at all. Derek Carr getting skittish in the pocket thanks to Myles Garrett. And a Cleveland team that since they made the change to Jameis Winston, what's the game Deshaun got hurt? Did Deshaun get hurt in he got hurt. Deshaun got hurt in the Bengals game, and they went to Dorian Thompson-Robinson and then to Jameis. Cleveland beat Baltimore and then played poorly against the Chargers. I don't believe New Orleans is going to have the level of energy they had last week, and I think Cleveland's better than them. I'm just picking a winner here. And post-bye, Cleveland's the healthiest they've been all year. Stefanski 3-1 in his career off a bye. And the Saints, since the last 6 years, they're one of the worst teams in the league against the spread at home. All those things. I like Cleveland to win this game. I'm only laying a point. This is a game, I'll be honest, I don't plan to watch. If I can help it, I won't watch a second of this game, but I like Cleveland -1 at New Orleans. Next.
All right, so next you got Atlanta +2.5 at Denver.
Yeah, so this is a weird one because Atlanta can't get a pass rush at all. So you do feel like Bo Nix is going to be able to move the ball a bit. And Denver's defense obviously is excellent. It's been excellent all year. However, Atlanta has won, going into this past week against New Orleans, had won 5 of 6. Offense had been explosive. The Saints game, again, as I mentioned, I think they blew it. The Saints got that, had the energy of getting rid of Dennis Allen, but Atlanta still had plenty of chances there. I think Atlanta is a good team. I think Denver is the best of the bad teams, but Atlanta's actually a good team. And Atlanta bounce back spot. Denver, I think there is a real psychological aftershock of the way they lost to the Chiefs. And I was not impressed by the Denver offense. I was impressed by the Denver defense, and I know people want me to give Bo Nix more credit. I just think he's been fine. But Atlanta getting 2.5 points in a game that feels like is a coin flip game and absolutely could be, a down one field goal at the gun type of game for either team, like a lot of these Atlanta games are, is the right side of it. Atlanta also is in a position where they are in a good position in the division, but Tampa's schedule the rest of the way is the worst in football. Tampa the rest of the way, Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. So Tampa, aside from the Chargers game, plays 6 games against the worst teams in the NFL. So Atlanta knows, even though they have a cushion in that division, Tampa's going to start stacking wins. I like Atlanta to win this game. I certainly like them plus 2.5. And that's the 4th pick. And the 5th one's going to be pretty obvious given what we discussed at the top of the show.
Yeah, you've got a Kansas City plus 2.5 against Buffalo.
Yeah, so Mahomes has been an underdog 14 times in his career. He's 11-3, 12-1-1 against the spread. The 3 losses are the following. 2018 against New England, that game at the 2-minute warning was 40-40. New England hits a field goal at the gun to beat them. 2018, the famous Monday Night Football game against the Rams, that game at the 2-minute warning was 51-47 Kansas City. And the Rams scored a touchdown with a minute left to win. And 2022 against Buffalo, that game at the 2-minute warning was 20-17 Chiefs. And Buffalo scored a touchdown in the waning moments to win the game. Point is this. 14 times Patrick Mahomes has been an underdog. 11 times he has won outright. The other 3, he has either been tied or leading with 2 minutes left. It is just an absurdity to go against Mahomes in this spot. And here is the really remarkable thing about this, DeMonze. This will be the 5th time Mahomes and the Chiefs have been underdogs since they last lost a game. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.